Luke Skywalker meets Lois and Clark as Rick and Rick reach number 5 on the top 10 science fiction movies of all time.
That's true.
All right, so my next up is Superman, the movie, 1978, Richard Donner. I saw an interview with Donner years ago where he said, he had discovered that someone had gotten the properties for Superman, the movie, and he said, I had to direct it because if anyone else did it, there would never be another superhero movie. Because at that time, our conception of what a superhero movie or TV show was campy, right? The Batman TV series and others. And he had in his mind this epic vision for what this story would be about. And if you look at the elements of this movie, the world of Krypton, production design on that was extraordinary, just not like anything that we'd ever seen before. But then there was also this idea that was not from the comics at that time, where the baby, Kal-El, has gone to Earth, but he's been accompanied by artificial intelligence, this AI version of his father that has captured his essence and his knowledge, who proceeds to train him and teach him about his powers, how they would manifest on a planet like Earth. And so it also qualifies as a sci-fi movie, and I think that obviously the world of superhero movies that we see today wouldn't have happened without this. And I will point out, too, in the big hit this summer, Wonder Woman, there are several of the scenes in that are complete homages to Superman the movie. The director, Patty Jenkins, purposely emulated the scenes where, Clark is trying to go through the spinning lobby door. That scene, they play it exactly the way that they did in Superman the movie. And then the scene where they're in the alleyway and the gun comes out by Steve Trevor's head. In Superman the movie, it was just that they were being robbed and that Germans were going to kill them. But she actually constructed that set to mimic the alleyway in Superman the movie. For her, that movie was hugely, hugely influential and made her say, I've got to make Wonder Woman.
I didn't have this on my list. It wasn't even in my overflow, but I completely agree with you. This is definitely one of the top ones because of all the reasons that I picked the ones on my top ones. It is absolutely highly influential. I don't think any of the superhero movies afterwards would have gone the direction they did. We would have never had the serious Batman movies or any of that had this movie not come out. And to your point, they had the right director, but they also had the right actors. They had Marlon Brando, they had Gene Hackman, they had Christopher Reeve. They chose the right people, and these were all people who had careers that gave this film credibility just going in. So you picked the right one here. All right, number 5 for me. This has got to be on the list. Is Star Wars. Star Wars is absolutely one of the iconic sci-fi movies of our time. It has shaped every space themed movie afterwards. It has spawned a ton of remakes, a ton of people even just making fun of it. If you remember movies like Spaceballs. Yep. It introduced the world to this idea of, in a very well-produced, written way of this sci-fi melodrama. Yep. And anyway, for me, this has got to be on the top 10 of anybody's list.
You're absolutely right. Anyone who wasn't around can't appreciate just what a cultural movement Star Wars was at the time. I mean, I think the movie was in the theaters for like a year. Lines around blocks to get into this movie. And just fresh and exciting, between Jaws and Star Wars created the whole idea of the summer movie. That didn't exist before. So just a phenomenal movie.